Hello, Patriots Colony. Hope you're all doing well. My name's Stan Rockwell. We're going to do some Taiji and Qigong together. That's my dog Leo you see up there in the foreground, and there's another dog named Annie who's a beagle laying on the floor in front of me. So they may pop in and out. Also, there may be some sounds you hear, like sometimes lawnmowers go off outside or just whatever, and that's okay. Part of being mindful and being relaxed is being able to have things happen and you don't attach to them. You just let them occur and let them go, just like leaves floating down a stream or clouds floating across the sky. So we'll get right to it. You start off by setting up your foundation, and that's your feet. And you want to have as secure a foundation as you can, like you're building a house that's going to last for a very long time. Have your feet about shoulder width apart and as parallel as you can get them. If you have issues with ankles, knees, or joints, and you need to have your toes out a little bit like that, that's okay. Couple things in this. There's a 70% rule. You only do 70% of whatever your capability is at this moment. You don't push anything. You just relax into things. You never lock a joint, so you never fully extend your arm. There's always going to be some bend. You also never fully compress it. You don't put any pressure on the joints. Same thing with the knees. There's always going to be a little bit of a bend in your knees. If we step like this, the knee in front's always going to be behind your toes. You never extend your knee beyond your toes. So just remember a couple of principles are softness overcomes hardness, flexibility overcomes rigidity, and that's true in all parts of your life, but especially in the physical movements we're doing here. Don't worry about left or right. Just follow along as best you can. If you can't smile when you're doing something, back off until you can. As you have your feet parallel and shoulder width apart, just relax down into them so you feel equally balanced left, right, front, back. So you're not leaning in any direction. What you're aiming for is a central neutral position. And just sink down into it. You have acupuncture points in the center of your forefoot, translates as bubbling wells. You can have an energetic connection attaching you to the earth. And there's a lot of visualization in this. You can visualize roots growing from the ball of the foot at the base of the big toe, the ball of the foot at the base of the little toe, and the center of the heel, just growing down into the earth, really tightly securing you to the earth, so it'd be hard to get you off your feet. If that causes your feet to flatten out too much so your knees kind of bow in, just raise up your arches till your knees are pointed in the same direction as your toes. And everything we do, your knees and toes are going to be pointed in the same direction. Once you're securely grounded to the earth, and you just pay attention to how your feet feel connected to the earth, you want to connect yourself upwards to the sky, to the heavens. You have another acupressure point called the Ba Wei. It's the same as a crown chakra in yoga. You can visualize an energetic connection there pulling you up, or a line attached there pulling you upwards, stretching you, making you taller, stacking your vertebrae on top of each other. Makes adjustments to your body. Your tailbone drops down a little bit. Your hips move back just a little bit. Tops of your hips are parallel to the floor. That flattens out your stomach, flattens out your lower back. If that doesn't feel comfortable for you, just relax and do whatever feels best. Tops of your shoulders are parallel to the floor. They're not up around your ears or slouch forward or pull back like your attention. They're just relaxed. Imaginary line across your eyes and ears is parallel to the floor. So your head's not leaning in any direction, left, right, front, back, to the corners. You want to have your head nice and balanced on your shoulders. That line pulls the back of your head up, tucks your chin out a little bit, and may even move your head back just a bit so your head's nice and balanced on your shoulders. For every inch your head is out of alignment with the rest of your body, it adds an extra 10 pounds to the weight that your neck, your shoulders, your lower back have to carry. So one way to really reduce pain is just get yourself in harmony with gravity and improve your balance. Just relax. Focus on your breath. You inhale through your nose down to your diaphragm. It pulls the diaphragm down, but again, 70% rule. Don't try to inhale as deeply as you can. When you exhale, you pull the pelvic floor up as best you can and move as much air out as you can so that on the next breath, you can bring even more clean, fresh air in. It's abdominal breathing, and that's a relaxation response breath. If you're ever feeling stressed, tense, just put your hands, one hand on front of your heart, the other hand just below your belly button. And when you breathe, make sure this lower hand is the one that's moving. That automatically starts to calm you down. Make the exhale last just a little bit longer than the inhale. That also is a relaxation response breath. As best you can. I know it's allergy season and I'm fighting an urge to sneeze myself right now. You want to inhale through your nose. Conditions the air, it warms it up, it adds moisture to it. Filters it out a little bit. On the exhale, you can either exhale through your nose or out through your mouth. If you exhale through your mouth, you can make a sighing sound like with that sound, you let whatever tightness, whatever tension is inside your body just flow out and away from you and just dissipate and go away. You want to, in Chinese medicine, they touch the tip of their tongue to the roof of their mouth behind their front teeth. They see it as connecting a couple of energy channels. Western medicine, when you press your tongue there just right, you disengage the muscles in your jaw so you can't clench your teeth. Again, to help relax. And just breathe. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. Just let your arms float up, your palms face, and just let all the joints relax so your arms extend outwards. Turn your palms so they're facing towards you as you press in, you drop the elbows. It's like you're pressing your head back just a little bit so you feel some movement in your neck. Turn your hands, press out. Again, extend your arms. Your arms come back down. You tuck your chin just a bit to feel some stretch in the back of your neck. It's an inhale up and an exhale. And an inhale and an exhale. One more. Come back to the center, nice and balanced and relaxed. Let your arms float up again with your palms facing. One hand, either one, it doesn't matter. Comes down, palm faces towards the floor. There's a little bit of a bend in your wrist to activate an acupressure point in your wrist. Other arm folds over so the center of your palm lines up with the third eye, upper dantian and Taiji. You want to keep those 2 points connected as you turn 70% of your range of motion, moving just your head and your arm to that side. As you come back to the center, the lower hand comes up, palms face briefly. Hand comes down and turn to the other side. Come back to the center as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, and inhale. Arms float back down, shoulders relax. Focus a bit more on the neck and shoulders. Turn your head to one side, either side, it doesn't matter. Just drop your chin down. Don't press it down, just let it drop down. Roll across the bottom. It gets as far as you're comfortable. Just bring your head back up to that center line. Look straight across. Exhale across the bottom. Inhale across the center. Exhale. Inhale and exhale, and inhale. Balance it out, we'll just reverse, go to the other side. Inhale and exhale. All the movements in this should be nice and soft and smooth and slow. You're doing it in a graceful way, you're doing it in a skillful way. You move like you're moving through water, through a gentle resistance. This time we're going to do shoulder rolls to the front. Again, however is comfortable for you. If you have issues with your rotator cuffs, just rotate your arms so your palms are facing behind you and you make the circles with your elbows. Just kind of take your shoulders along for the ride and then reverse and go to the back. Come back to the center, let your arms just float up. First, your palms face down. They turn to face up, your arms fold over and press down. It's an inhale and an exhale. If you want to do a visualization with this, you can visualize the clean yin energy of the earth coming into your hands, clean yang energy of the heavens coming into your hands, and then just pressing down to clean energy through your body, expelling any stagnant energy out through those bubbling wells in your feet. Chinese medicine sees illness and injury as a function of too much energy, too little energy, blocked energy, stagnant energy. The purpose of Qi, which is energy, and Gong is cultivation, is balancing it all out. Come back to the center. Arms float up. Bring your arms as best you can so your palms touch, forearms touch. You open your arms, keeping those elbows more or less at right angles. Opening your chest, you exhale to the center, opening the upper back. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your arms back out to the side so your fingertips are facing upwards. And for your elbows, you just reach forward, keeping your upper arms where they are. Remember to keep some softness in your elbows. Hands come back. It's an exhale and an inhale. Bring your hands back halfway, fingers are pointed straight up. For your wrist, you just let your hands tilt towards you and then away from you. If your wrist pop, I've never done this when my wrist didn't pop. And again, just let them flow. You don't have to press hard. And towards and away from each other. And then circles one way. And then the other way. And you fold your fingers over so that you have nice soft fists. The thumb is going to be on the outside. Taiji is a martial art, so they never put the thumb on the inside. If you hit something with your thumb on the inside of your fist, you break your thumb. But also, you don't squeeze your hands tightly. If you open your hands and you have fingernail prints in your palms, squeezing too tight. This is for flexibility in the fingers. You just reach out to punch as you do. You rotate your arm around. Your arm is out. You visualize your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist all expanding out. Then you open your hands. Your fingers expand outwards and they curl back in and pull back. It's an exhale and an inhale. The soft version of this is just folding your fingers in. There's a hard version of this where you visualize you're squeezing a rubber ball or something like that. But again, when you bring your fingers in, you don't crush your fingertips into your palms. But you can use it for strengthening your hands or just loosening up your hands. Just flex your fingers. And one that's really good for pain in your hands. And the Harvard Medical School calls it Taijiquan anywhere. You have your palms at your waist, fingertips facing, you breathe in, you visualize your wrist, your fingers all expanding outwards. If you exhale, fingers just relax back to where they were. So it's an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Just come back to center. The next couple are for your back. This is like you're holding the ball. And the elbow and the upper arm is dropped below shoulder level. You don't want it up like this. It puts pressure again on your rotator cuff. So just relax your shoulders. Lower hand rotates up, presses up, upper hand presses down. Inhale to the center and exhale. Exhale, inhale. We'll do one more. Bring your hands back to the center. Just recheck your posture and your balance. The next for your back is a rotating motion. So you want to keep your hips still. You're rotating like you're sitting in a chair. And in future times, we'll do some of these seated too. Holding the ball, rotate from the hips up, tell the hand on this side is on the top, so we rotate to that side, then turn the palms around. We come back on the other side. If you want, you can synchronize your breathing, so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Might be a little jumpiness in the video as the internet connection varies. It's a lot of heavy use of the internet these days, so sometimes the quality isn't quite what it would be normally. Just come back to the center. Put your hands on one side like you're going to press into a wall. Right now, my foundation is an invisible line around the outsides of my feet. Everything inside that rectangle is my foundation. And my center is right over the middle of that. If I were to drop a line from the byway through the perineum, it'd hit the floor right in the middle. So I'm going to shift all my weight into this foot. So right now, that's my foundation because there's no weight in this other foot at all. So we can just reach out, feel a little stretch in the hip right there. Come back. Other side. It's an exhale. And an inhale. If you're comfortable doing a little balance work, you don't have to actually touch your toe down. You can just let it move out a little bit, but keep yourself nice and straight over your foot. You're using the arms to counterbalance. Have your palms facing towards the floor. You can visualize they're on a railing, helping you stay upright. Shift all your weight into either foot, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use this side. Other foot goes up as your hands go back just a little bit to counterbalance. Heel touches at the front. Hands come back to the middle. If you need to rebalance, you just touch your forefoot down. As your arms go forward, you keep yourself straight up over top of the foot, holding your weight. And the foot goes behind you and the forefoot touches down. Arms go in front at shoulder level to counterbalance. So you're keeping yourself nice and balanced over what's called a substantial foot. It's holding all your weight. Go to the other side. And again, if you feel pretty comfortable with your balance, just keep your foot in a straight line as it goes forward and back, and it doesn't have to touch down. It's like the pendulum on a clock, and your arms are the counterbalance. But if you need to rebalance or you need to touch down, just do that. For your knees, you have your toes pointed towards the corner, a little bit of space between your heels. Those gentle fists at your hips, you shift your weight over into your right foot, or the foot on this side. Other foot goes forward, forefoot touches down, and you punch the opposite arm. And you come back. It's an exhale and an inhale. And again, if you feel comfortable with your balance, you can make it a toe kick or a heel kick. You don't necessarily have to put your foot down. I'll do one more on each side. Just come back to the center. The next one for your knees is going into what's called a forward bow stance. So I'll just do the feet first so you can see. Step straight up with one foot. Those toes are straight ahead. You shift your weight into it. You notice there's some space between the insides of my foot. So I have stability going left, right, forward, back, because the back foot's at an angle, the front foot's straight ahead. And from the side, the knee doesn't go beyond the toes. Always want to take care of your knees. Shift your weight, step up, punch with the opposite side. As you do, you feel an extension in all your body, a really nice stretch. It's called song. It's expansion and contraction of joints. It's loosening up everything. It's an exhale and an inhale. Come back to center with your feet parallel and shoulder width apart. Shift all your weight into one foot. Again, either foot, it doesn't matter. And then it's just heel and toe to loosen up your ankles a little bit. And then the same thing on the other side. And then for the lateral motion in the ankles, you want to shift all your weight into one foot. You pick a spot on the floor, and then the outside of the foot and the inside of the foot touch as close to the same spot on the floor as you can. You want to isolate the ankle. And then the same thing on the other side. And then being very gentle with your hips, knees, ankles. Shift your weight into one side. Make very gentle, small circles, first going one way, and then the other way. Same thing on the other side. And in the other direction. Come back to center. Work on balance a bit. one of the things, there's a Harvard Medical School book called The Harvard Medical School Guide to Taiji, and it's worth a read. They have some routines in there, and Benson Henry Mind Body Institute from Harvard teaches some stuff too, and that's what we're drawing from today. So you're just going to shift your way from one side to the other, because they found that one of the issues with balance is people over time don't get as much feedback from the soles of their feet to their brains to let them know how they're connected to the earth. So just weight shifting, something you can do anytime, anywhere, and paying attention to the bottoms of your feet can help improve your balance. One of the techniques they use is one my teachers over the years have used. They teach a movement called wave hands like clouds. And the footwork in that is moving side to side. So they have you visualize water flowing from one leg to the other. So when all your weight's in this foot, it's like this leg is full of water, and then as you're shifting, it's pouring over into the other side. So at Harvard Medical School, they have you visualize warm, salty water, the same temperature and salinity as your body, going from one side to the other as you shift your weight from one side to the other. And they also use the visualization of that water just cleaning all the cells in your body. Starts at the tips of your toes, goes all the way up to the top of your head, down to your fingertips. It would take a long time to do it, but it's something you can do on your own. As that water flows, it cleans all the cells. It's a healing of that warm, salty water. You can use a purifying light if you want, whatever works for you. But they just call this pouring. Then it goes into something called a swing, where you start to shift your way from one side to the other. It's like your hands are directly connected by a string to your spinal cord, so they just swing freely. It's like tetherballs. So your shoulders practically disappear. They're very relaxed. All the weight goes into one foot. The other foot, the heel comes slightly off the ground. And you're just turning from one side to the other, just loosening up everything in your body. If you want, you can close your eyes and you visualize yourself in a safe, secure, serene place. If swinging back and forth with your eyes closed makes you a little woozy, just open your eyes, keep your head looking straight ahead so your eyes can rest on something that's not moving. It's a trick ice skaters use when they spin. You can still do the visualization. When you look straight ahead, it also loosens up your neck a little bit more. The hand goes behind you, it hits just inside the hip, but it's very soft. You're not hitting hard. Then they move into something called drumming, where you just kind of tap. Just very softly, when the arm in front swings up, it touches just inside the shoulder. It's an acupressure point on the lung meridian. And then just at the base of the rib cage. And then just inside the hip on the inguinal crease. And then just below your belly button on something called the lower dantian. It's a big energy field in your body in Chinese medicine and in Western medicine. It's the enteric nervous system. Also where your center of gravity is. And then you just go back to swing. Come back to the center. Make a large ball. The upper hand's going to hold your head relatively still. Lower hand's going to take your hip out a little bit, loosen up your little back, your lower back. So again, just stay in your comfort zone, 70% of your range of motion. Come back to center. Shift your weight back and forth again. You get all your weight into either foot, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it on the foot on this side. Heel comes up, and if you can, you just let the toe naturally float up. If you need to, you just hold on to a chair or put your fingers on the wall. There's a sequence of Tai Chi for Parkinson's where they use this movement and they have the person kind of tap their toe out so that if they're carrying groceries and they can't see their feet, other side, they're balanced enough they can use their toe to very gently move ahead and find out where that curb is or that stair is. Back to the center. This time visualize a helium balloon on your knee just floating up. Just like you're about to step over that curb. Other side. It comes up. Down. This time you visualize a balloon maybe attached to your heel, just lifting it up like you've taken a step. Just relax into it so you're centered over the foot that's holding all your weight. It's all about keeping yourself centered and in harmony with gravity and relaxing into it. When you tense up and try too hard, other parts of your body have to make up for the tensed up part. It can throw you off. Shift your weight. You like up, just drop your hand on your thigh. And down. Other side. Down. Just relax. If you have room, you're going to walk just a little bit, shift all your weight into one foot. Other foot just lets go and it goes straight forward. Doesn't have to be very far. It seals to the earth. You shift your weight into that foot and then the other foot can let go. It comes straight up. You inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. It's just called mindful walking. I'm going to go backwards, and you don't have to go backwards if you don't want to. Just turn around and walk straight back. And the balance and the walking you can practice anytime, really. And you can walk at a regular speed. The issue is you just are being mindful of your connection to the earth. In Young Family Tai Chi, they do a special kind of walking where they shift all their weight into one foot. They just the weightless foot at the 45 degrees, shift their weight over into that foot, bring the other foot into what's called a T-step, where the toe touches down just near the instep. Step straight up, and you shift your weight into it. Come back, just that foot to 45 degrees. Come up. Yeah. I'm going to have to reverse. You can't see it, but I've got a beagle laying right there. Shift your weight back. Front foot comes in, it steps out, comes down at 45 degrees. When you shift your weight back, you adjust your front foot so the toes are straight ahead. Come in, back. This is a reverse post stance. And just come back up. There are some meditative moves that you can use for getting into a relaxation response. One is just called open and close. You can do this standing or sitting. You visualize like a big ball of energy in front of you. You're inhaling. So that energy is trying to expand and you're trying to keep it in. And then Exhale, and you're pressing that energy back in, so it's an inhale. And exhale. Worked for a long time as a counseling psychologist, and we use this. Folks are having issues with anxiety. A lot of times when people try to meditate and their brain keeps running on, they get very frustrated. So with this, you're moving. Focus on your breathing, focus on your moving. Thoughts come along, again, you just say hello to them and let them go. Second meditative move is one called wave hands like clouds. There's different ways to do it. We're going to do Yang style today. We'll be doing different forms over the coming weeks. But you start off with your hands, palms towards you, shoulders nice and relaxed. One hand's in front of that lower dantian, the other hand's right up just above that middle dantian, about chin level. You don't want to put it up here because you're blocking your vision. So whichever hand's on top, you shift your weight into that side. You turn towards that corner, keeping your knees nice and soft. That hand goes palm out, starts to drop down like it's going to hit a drum head as you shift your weight to the other side. Lower hand comes up, goes across, and it goes palm out and drops down. Shift your weight. Keep your knees nice and soft, and you're turning from one side to the other. Again, you just synchronize your breathing so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Back to the center for an open and a close. Going to adjust this a little bit because the afternoon sun's coming in. Hopefully get it so I don't have a halo over my head. Okay. And breathe. Your feet a little bit further than shoulder width apart. Your palms just below waist level, right about waist level. And this is called 5 treasures. So just relax into it. Our hands are going to do an open and close, and they're going to start down here. They're going to eventually come up this high, and then they're going to come back down again. So just follow along, no worries. It's an inhale and an exhale. A little higher each time. And you're breathing with your whole body. You're not just moving your arms. You might notice I'm kind of rising and falling a little bit each time. So my hips are going back. So I'm keeping it nice and easy on the lower back. We're going to start down just a little bit. Just relax. That particular movement is called ocean wave breathing. The next one is bringing up chi from the earth or energy from the earth. Arms come up. Again, it's not bending over. It's moving your hips back like you're about to sit down in a chair. More like a squat. 70% of your range of motion, you come down and up like you're pouring that energy over your body. It's an exhale and an inhale. And you come back to the center. The next one is a movement called Catching Starlight, and it uses a hook hand, which you have your hand with your fingertips facing like that. It's used in Tai Chi as a fist. It's also a way of bringing acupressure points together. You're going to put it at the base of your spine like that. I'm going to put the hand behind me, shift my weight into that side, adjust the foot towards the corner on the other side, shift most of my weight into that foot, but I'm going to again use my whole body. Shift my way back, come across, get a little higher each time. And then a little lower each time. Back to the center. Balance is important, so we do both sides. Hook hand behind you, step out. And then back down. Back to the center, then bringing in chi to the heart. Hips go back. Pull in. Then you reverse the motion and you go out. Back to the center, and then you balance everything out. Inhale up, exhale down. Thanks for joining me. See you again next time. We'll work on some more moves And this was really more just a kind of an introduction to get everybody hopefully comfortable with it. And if you have any questions, let Sean know, email him and he can, or talk to him and he can email me and I'll answer you the best as I can. Stay safe and stay well. Take care. Bye-bye.